guys? It's Elliot here with another Minecraft video.
All right, episode 2, and we're back. Beautiful day on Wolly Beach today. I don't know if you guys got out there.
Oh, it was amazing. I was doing landscaping in the front yard, kid.
Yeah, a little too many people out there.
Nice little run of
I
a
would
hop.
completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm happy they shut down Wolly Beach, actually. Because you know me, I'm a big proponent of Wolly Beach is for the Quincy kids. It's for the Wally boys.
Yeah, it's
And
also
too
for the
many
crackheads.
people are coming down, running there, and destroying our beach. And Johnny, I know you back me up on that. Especially Amy Kelly. She's a big proponent of that. Ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
I'm just pissed that people, like, since they blocked all the parking on the beach off.
Yeah.
Everyone's just trying to park in front of my house now.
Yeah, that's actually the whole problem. I know, and that was the problem in the summer because, like,
Yeah.
you know how all the spots would be filled, so
Yeah.
people would come parking on the streets.
It's
It pisses
like-
me off.
It's
Permit
like the
parking, I say.
It's like the only day we'll put up with it is July 4th.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going anywhere, and it's like, okay, one day out of the whole year, I guess we can deal with this, right?
Yeah, that's the
So-
same with us.
Yeah, but it clearly says in front of my house, there's a sign that says residential parking only.
Would your dad ever ticket them or no? Has he ever?
No.
No. I would. If that was my house and I was a cop.
No,
Really?
my mom, some lady was parking out in front of the house yesterday, and we had the was it yesterday? Yeah, we had the trash bins out before the truck came by, and she parked right in front of the bins, and my mom just gets out there, starts yelling at him. It was funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck them. All right, we can get on. That's a side
So
tangent.
today we're gonna talk about our countless stories working in the service industry, specifically seafood. So
Specifically on Wolly Beach.
yeah,
True.
that's all we'll give them.
This is very
Alright.
true.
So
Joe,
who
how
wants
long
to
did
go?
it take you to make your story? It seemed like it took you like 2 hours over like a speed loop or whatever.
No, it probably took me 5-10 minutes total, Jack. I was actually reading the discourse on Descartes' philosophy.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah. Multitasking. Anyways,
Who wants to go first? Who wants to tell their?
What were we saying? You're saying how our day was?
You an idiot?
you're a fucking you're something I'm not even
You are so stupid,
I-
Jack.
Shut up,
Yeah,
John.
sorry.
Just okay, John. I'm not going first. It was a fucking joke. Relax.
Oh my gosh. You're such an idiot.
All right, I'll start. So this one day I was working a double, which is like 12 hours. And so I get like a 20-30 minute break in between. And so I go sit in the corner of the restaurant and I'm like chomping away my clam strips. And these two gentlemen come in and they're like the classic look. They got the Jordans on, baggy clothes. They got really nice haircuts, like the nicest haircuts you've seen. They got the tats. And they go sit down at this table, and I'm like, they're like behind me, but like I'm kind of listening because I got on my headphones. So they're talking, and I'm like, they're like, yeah, business is booming right now. Oh, dude, I'm making so many sales, dude. I came all the way from Rochester. I came all the way from Rochester here. Just, dude, there's so much going on here. Like, there's so much going on, and like now, like I'm doing a lot of social media, like people paying on PayPal and everything, dude. I'm making so much money, and I'm like. I'm thinking like, geez, what are these guys selling? What are they selling? And so they keep going on about, oh, they're making money, they're making bills. And he's like, oh yeah, you gotta. And the thing is, you gotta get a lot of people working for you, and so you gotta have them pay you for the spot. You gotta pay you for the spot. And I'm thinking, geez, like, am I like two like drug dealers from like Rochester and Boston like meeting up in like the Clam box of all places? And then right at the end, as they're both about to leave, he's like, yeah, dude, that's why I love owning a barbershop. I got the nice social media set up. Dude, I love cutting hair. And like, I want to expand my business so much. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, thank God.
What's your problem with drugs, Diarmuid, huh?
Nothing. It was just funny of all places, two drug dealers to meet.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they weren't, so cool.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's good though. Johnny, tell us something about Tony's. I'm sure we've heard it, but
So one night we're about to close up, and it's probably like 9:55, and this dude had come in probably like 10 minutes earlier. Of course, he orders a broiled dinner. It's gonna take. Oh, you guys didn't have broiled, but broiled always takes longer. Oh, you did?
It's like 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Just for
alright.
fish and like fish, scallops, and what else was it there?
Shrimp. Yeah, same as us. So, of course, it's a broiled. So, probably a broiled seafood plate. So it takes even longer. And he's sitting in the corner. Eventually, he's like the only guy in there. The dude's been asleep since like 5 minutes in since he got there. Just passes out. And like we're waiting for his food, and I'm like, all right, someone's gotta like wake him up eventually. So like we package it up, and we have like the buzzer going right in front of him like the whole time, and he can't hear it. Like he won't feel it. Like he's just knocked out. So we had that. You guys remember that kid Hayes that used to work with me? The guy who lived behind me. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So Hayes goes and sits right across from him, like sits at the same table as him. The dude's just like sitting there, just like absolutely passed out. And Hayes sits there, just like we're all behind the counter, like laughing our asses off, and like Hayes like pretending to have a conversation with him. And then my boss comes out, and he would always play like songs on the PA system and stuff. And I forget what the song's called. I gotta look it up after this, but it was like at the end of like the chorus is like "Get the fuck out," and it's all about like closing up like a restaurant or something like that. And he just starts blasting that, and the dude just still asleep. So eventually, like Hayes like jiggled the table right in front of him. He woke up and then left, acted like nothing had happened, like he had just been sitting there, just picked up his food, left, was gone. Pretty funny. So
That's funny. That's classic. That's so classic.
Yeah.
Some of my best experiences from working in the restaurant industry is really who you work with, and then you really like cherish those moments when like you do have that regular or that good customer that you're always happy to like see on your shift.
Yeah.
That's easily the best part. I'd say though, the best thing was like learning how to deal with customers, of course. Everybody says that's easily the best thing. But then also just like learning how to be like a good coworker, but also like not like a fucking, what do you call it? You're not going to do everything for somebody, you know what I mean? You're not going to be their bitch. Like, know your place.
Yeah.
So, Jack definitely knew his place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Buster Jack.
Bussing away.
He's such a fucking idiot. He's
Dude,
on
we can't
Jack,
even
your
hear him.
mic's off. Your mic's off.
Your
on
mic's
mute,
off,
dude.
dum-dum.
Your mic is off. He's actually so dumb. Oh my gosh. Nope,
Still off.
still off. Okay. Nice, Kelso.
Thanks. My biggest regret was not quitting in the first place. I'll say that.
So you
Did I
got a
say
five?
it like a really stupid way? Absolutely. But yeah, no, I just.
Jack, tell a story. Jack, tell a story.
Oh yeah, me.
Got it.
So basically, I was the last one to get how do we say, promoted to the cashier business, and of course, you know, it wasn't favoritism, but you know, there was a lot of that. Anyways, I finally got promoted, and then what was it? You know what? This was actually what I was pissed off about. I was trained as a cashier, but that season, like last season, I got put on as like putting out food on the trays, and I kept doing that every single time, and I kept fucking up because I wasn't trained to do that. I was always trained to do the register. Meanwhile, register I was pretty good at, so I was like, whatever. So whatever. There was a couple of slip ups with like Tom or whatever, like I guess he didn't have the balls to just tell me, okay, like I'm gonna put you down as fucking busser if you don't keep it up. He didn't tell me about my job performance basically. So then I just see him on the schedule. I'm just put as one busing shift and not anything else, just one busing shift. I'm like, all right, fuck this. I'm not doing it. So me with my big ass balls go into the office, I go on this big spiel. I'm like, dude, I've been here too long. It's not worth my time. I'm not working that shift. I'm like I said I put my foot down.
Did you actually put your foot
I said,
down?
yeah, no, I did say it, and I shouldn't have.
No. But
That's
did you
classic.
put your
I'm
foot
putting my
down?
foot
Oh,
down.
I'm putting my foot down. Yeah. And he was like, oh, are you? I was like, yeah, I am. And he was like, oh, well, you're fired. Get out of here. And he was like, just like yelling. And he was like, nobody's gonna disrespect me. I was like, meanwhile, I didn't raise my voice. I was like, I kind of said it in the most respectful way. I'm like not doing this. Like, I've been here too long. You can tell me if like you like have a problem with me or not, but like I'm not doing that. He's like, nobody's gonna come in here and disrespect me and blah blah blah. I should have just quit. Like I should have just gone to like find somebody else to do it because I've been here too long. It's not worth my time. It's not worth your time. So that's my lesson learned.
It was definitely bad timing on both of your parts.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Tom is a great boss. He's easily one of the best.
Oh, he was a good guy. Like I'm not gonna say he
but
wasn't.
like
I'm not gonna say
it
he
was the
handled
fact that like it was a bad situation. Like obviously he didn't. I was mad that he didn't handle that like more professionally, but I also understand. Like it's a restaurant business. Like you were on. Was it on a really busy like Sunday or something?
It was the Saturday, yeah. And I mean, like I don't expect him to like like get on his knees and like beg me back or whatever. But the thing I learned that day was I'm not gonna give a shit what a manager of a Clam Shack has to say about my job performance. Basically, like I'm gonna go on and I know he's a successful guy. Like I respect him. Like
Manager of like six
manager of a
rustic
Clam Shack.
kitchens at like
Yeah.
one time. He is very talented.
No, I didn't say. I'm not saying he's not successful, which he was. But I'm saying like his position while I was working with him was being the manager for Clam Shack. I'm not saying that's easy, but I'm saying as my ambitions go further, I'm not gonna be a person in that role get me down. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
He was a good guy, good boss.
Oh my god. No, easily none of us can deny.
Hold on, John said I'm petty. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, John.
No, Jack, that's just a fact. Like all three of us.
Your panties are still in a twist after. What's the expression?
If that happened to me, like I would
get
have been
over
like,
it.
fuck.
Well,
also,
the thing is, I'm over
a lot
it.
of it's on me.
It back up. Like it's like I don't ever bring it up. What?
Like,
I just think at the end of the day it was mostly bad timing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not saying I did it the right way. I completely fucked up on my part. I'm not saying I didn't.
Okay.
No, I know.
I'm not salty about it. The thing is, I never bring it up. You guys are like, oh, you're so petty. I never bring it up because I really just don't care. I have a job. I have another job. You guys always bring it up and you're like,
all right. There's one thing we can agree on though. Sully was the man.
Sully was the boss.
Like, I'm telling you, whenever I worked with Sully, it was the best. Like, Johnny, you remember Sully because he knew your name whenever you'd come in. Yeah, he knew your name. Because, like, we would always talk.
What up, Johnny?
Yeah.
What up, Johnny?
What up, Johnny?
Maybe, yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah,
you knew Tom.
I knew Tom.
I'm pretty sure Sully knew you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say.
Always come in. But anyways, Sully was the man. Like, by the end, when it was, like, late July, August, mostly, like, late July, I would do nothing on the shift because I knew Sully wouldn't care. And I would just go in the office and watch Netflix with him, and he would tell me these insane stories. It's like a Thursday night, too, in July. Like, it's pretty busy. And we'd be just watching, like, Netflix or whatever. Yeah, and I'd go out, like, 6 to 8, and then 8 on, I'd just be in there talking with him. He was so funny. He showed me and Diarmuid this one time, like, the text between him and, like, his, like, what was it when he was manager at Bertucci's? His
salad chef? No, it was his salad.
His salad lady. So me and him are like, oh my god, this is perfect. He's showing us these texts where it's such like an old person like thing. Like she's sending him like pictures, like full body pictures of herself. Like she's clothed, but I'm just saying like she's just like at work, and I'm just like, the hell, Sully? It's like it's just beautiful. I'm like, no, she's 150 pounds, too heavy. She's like, chips. And then he's just laughing. And I'm like, Sully. And then me and Dave were like, so how many times she talked to your salad? But he never was honest. So, smart man.
That reminds. Did I ever tell you guys a story of Steroid Jerry?
I don't know.
All right. So this wasn't even at work. This wasn't even at work. It was at like a 4 o'clock in the afternoon. after school in like sophomore year of high school. And me and some other guys, and I think we were there with like Brielle and Yasmina. And it was me, Zach, Jacob, Brielle, and Yasmina. So we're just chilling, drinking our iced coffees. And this dude comes in, and he's like, just got off the construction job, comes in, like, cut construction company, like, cut off jeans, work boots, whatever. And he comes in, he's like super aggressive from the get-go. And he gets his coffee or whatever, and then he sits with us. He sits right next to Yasmina, right? And he's like he starts talking to us and stuff. Dude's so weird. And he was being super creepy with Yasmina. Like, Yasmina's like 16 years old at the time. It just wasn't okay, right? And
well, it's okay now because you're 19 now, Johnny, right? So it's okay.
What?
Just Jack, let him go on.
Shut up, all right?
Keep going.
This dude's got to be in his 30s. So he just goes on and on about how steroids aren't portrayed correctly in the media. And he's like, the media will tell you steroids make your pee-pee smaller. No, they don't. You think I could get a baby mama like this with a small pee-pee from steroids? And he shows up.
God.
Oh, no.
He's like talking to everyone. And he shows us a full body picture of his alleged baby mama.
What a fucking idiot.
Chick was a dime. But it's weird to go around a random Dunkin' Donuts and show pictures of your baby mama.
It really wasn't his baby mama.
Dudes. I don't know. He was going on about how he like used to sell coke but now works construction, and I was like, nice. And then to top it all off, dude was had total roid rage, you know. He thought someone was in the bathroom, but it was just locked and you had to ask for a key. So we start it starts with him like knocking on the door and be like, what are you doing in the bathroom?
That's classic.
And then it transitions to him trying to kick down the door. It goes, why the hell isn't the door open, huh? And like starts kicking. We're like, dude, Jerry, bro, like,
relax.
I need to get the key. And he's like, I need to get the key. We're like, yeah, dude. And he's like, all right. And like, I think it was the Marymount Dunks. So like, I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, but like the bathroom isn't visible from the main counter, so they had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Diarmuid, this is reminding me, Diarmuid, of it was like me and you were leaving your house. This was like at 11 o'clock on like a Friday or Saturday night or something. And we go out, and one of your neighbors, or I don't even know if it was neighbor.
No, after the Red Sox to World Series?
Yeah, it was like after the Red Sox or something. Oh, yeah, that was what it was. Johnny, were you there?
You and Johnny. Yeah.
Dude,
we were going.
Yeah.
We're walking out towards Johnny's car. Or, no, Diarmuid's car.
We're
walking down the street. Yeah. And this cracky woman is like, just like taking her fucking key and going, just fucking clamming it. She's not even going towards the doorknob. She's just going straight there. So we're trying to get in the car. She goes, can you guys help me? I'm stuck out of my house. Like, you're like, like, what the? And me being like, oh, I gotta help her. I went over.
Yeah. So,
and she's
it
like,
wasn't even that. It was
I smell the booze right away. I'm like, oh my god. I take the key and I open the door. It's like, you're such a nice kid. And then she turns around and just fucking ukes everywhere.
Oh my god.
Like
all over the porch.
I just looked over.
Where was I?
And John are just dying.
You're at school.
Dying laughing. I think John might have come over to help me maybe, but I don't remember that. I just
sure
remember
I was
dying laughing. I was like, what the fuck?
No, yeah, it was
night too.
Because we got to the car and she turned around when I was like at the the driver's seat, so I was easily the closest. Jack was probably the farthest. And she's like, can one of you help me? And I was like, Jack, I'm gonna sit the car. Can you go help her? And so I get in, and Johnny gets in.
Dude, I was like, I thought this girl was gonna die on the steps, dude. I was like, can you get in? Do you need me to? I was like thinking of calling like at least an ambulance or something, seeing if this girl was all right. I didn't even know it was her fucking house or not.
Yeah, no, I've never seen her before either.
Yeah,
but she had a key. I was like,
can you kids help me into my house?
That's so funny.
So fucking stupid. You don't know us. Like,
Yeah, but there's some
We were
good
just
memories
staring
of
at you from the car. It was so funny.
yeah, it was so.
That's
dude,
hilarious.
I was so happy there was no uke on my shoes though. I checked, there was like nothing. Like, she was just her. Oh, it was so bad. She walked in. I remember we were driving away. You look back, the door and the light are just open. Like the door wasn't even closed. There's uke on the fucking porch, and there's no sign of her. I don't know. She might be dead now. I don't know. Oh, God, that's so bad.
Oh man. Oh. What would you guys do to like pass the time? Like if you had like a slow day shift or something, like and you just need like you had nothing to do, like what would you guys do?
Just clean shit.
What is
You'd
it?
actually-
I would usually just talk to whoever I was working with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know me, I love talking, so I'd talk to them,
We
or
just
I would talk to just
500
customers.
boxes, I feel like.
Yeah, make
I talk-
boxes.
I talked to customers, and I always bring a book. So I think I read like Milton Friedman's Free to Choose, and then I was reading a French book. So like half the time I'd been speaking French to myself, and customers would come up and be like, "What the fuck is this kid doing?" And then I'd have to
Yeah,
respond in English. And I'd be like, "Oh, huh?"
I remember that.
Yeah.
Jeremy,
I've
Ash
got-
was telling me. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
No, you're good. Go, Jack.
Oh, Ashton was telling me how great of a manager Ryan has been lately at Diarmuid.
He's managing
Wow.
still.
He's still managing, yeah.
What? How much does he manage? Probably 1 or 2.
I have no idea. No, she was just telling me some stories of how he was only supposed to like supervise for like 3 hours like a Saturday or two ago, and he didn't show up like on time. So whatever, he like showed up and like Tom was like telling him what he was like talking to him or whatever, and he was like, "All right, you're like working tomorrow, like you're working, I don't know if it was like a double or something tomorrow." And Tom wasn't there, so it's super busy. And do you guys remember Kylie? I guess she works there now too.
Yeah.
Do you remember her?
Yeah,
She comes
Kylie's
through.
Oh, Kylie from years ago.
Kylie from like
Yes,
years ago. Yeah,
yes.
Ashton was working with her now. But Tom calls and is like, "How's it going there?" Like it's a Sunday, and they're like fucking packed. And she's like, "It's super like whatever, it's super busy. It's just two of us. Like, where's Ryan?" And Tom's like, "I told him like he's supposed to be working. Ryan wasn't there." And so
Yeah.
Tom calls Ryan. He's like, "Where are you?" "Oh, I forgot. I'm in the Cape."
And Tom still has him. Like,
I don't know,
he's
dude. I don't question. I don't know.
Man.
good with that.
That's
Like,
what,
I'm
I think
like,
this is what Tim told Ashling though. So like I don't know.
yeah, who knows? But
Oh,
like,
he's probably with this. He was probably with the
that's
sandwich girl.
insane. Oh my
Dude,
god. Yeah, he actually definitely
probably.
was. He definitely was.
The girl
mean,
from
I don't know.
Sandwich.
Dude,
And I guess
I-
he like asked for extra shifts or something like that. I don't know. But
my favorite is like just about passing time. Like, I would love just going into the back and talking with all the chefs because I was trying to like learn Portuguese.
yeah.
So I would just talk to them the whole time, or like I'd stand outside with like Raphael while he'd just like smoke his cigs, and that was so funny. The best though, this was the best, was my like last year, like Tom would have me do all of the orders. So like he would have me do Coke, so I would just do all the soda products.
Yeah.
I would like, it was usually me and Frank every Monday. Me and Frank would spend maybe 2 hours on it. Tom wouldn't care because it's not busy at all, and I'm doing him a favor. But like, it would probably take us an hour. Me and like Frank would just be shooting the shit. I'd be like, "Oh, what does that taste like?" He'd like open up a bottle, taste it, put it down, and I'd be like, "Oh, what about that?" We'd just be like trying them and just hanging out. It was so funny. Or like putting the orders in the closet. That we would take a long time to do.
Yeah.
That will get you
Might
on.
as well. As I always say, you get paid by the hour.
That's why my job at school is so good. Oh wait, what were you saying, John?
Oh no. You continue.
No, all I do is like go around and clean counters and shit and just talk to kids because I'm in the cafeteria. So like I know pretty much one of my friends is gonna be there like every hour. but just shooting the shit like that, getting paid every hour. What were you saying, John?
Your one friend hangs out there all day.
No, I know at least one. At least I know one of my 5 will be there every hour. So
That's so funny.
I'd get sent on box trips. Now,
Dude,
Box
I remember
trips?
this.
Like you go to grab them?
I'd go to Supreme Liquors in Dorchester and pick up boxes.
Oh, I forgot you guys do that. I completely forgot.
I didn't know if you were. I don't know what box you were talking about for a second, John.
What, David? What?
Dude,
Talking
I
about a
remember
G?
it was this one Friday night, and it was like packed out like the wazoo, and we ran out of scallops, and so I had driven Ryan's car there, and so I think Brian was there, and Brian didn't know what to do, so he's like, "Yo, Diarmuid, I need you to drive to Roxy's and pick up some scallops."
Dude, Roxy's trips are the best.
Yeah,
So classic.
No,
Dude, I wouldn't eat those if you gave them for me for free. Like I wouldn't.
yeah.
Dude,
So
they
Roxy,
have
I mean, it's kind
Roxy's
of run
is,
down.
Roxy's
Dude,
is
Roxy's
good
is so
product.
sketch.
It doesn't look
It's
good on the
so
outside,
sketch.
but it's
Yeah, it doesn't look good, but
stuff.
it is quality food inside.
It's
It is.
quality stuff.
It
No, but
is. It's very
Anyway,
good.
No, but
so
that was I had to go pick up boxes from Roxy's one time, and I told my dad afterwards. He goes, "Oh, Jesus Christ!"
yeah,
Roxy's.
no. So I went
Mess.
to Roxy's. I bought the scallops, and then Ryan's steering wheel. It always lock, and I never knew how to unlock it. So I'm just stuck at Roxy's with a ton of scallops in the back of their car, and I didn't put them in the boot. I put them in the back seat, and so I have to call Ryan. I'm like, "Yo, dude,
You're a
how do you
fucking idiot.
unlock
Never
this?"
put fish in the back seat.
Whatever. So I did that, and eventually I called him. He picked up, and I was able to leave and go back. And then I worked the rest of the shift, and I came back. And for the next week, his car reeked of scallops, and he was so pissed at me.
Damn it! Have you ever seen The Irishman?
Yeah, I saw it 6 months ago.
Don't put a piece of fish in the back seat, kid.
I didn't see that movie.
Great movie.
Still haven't seen it. Yeah.
Long time.
I would give it like a 7. I would say it was good. I would say it was good. I wouldn't say fantastic.
It was a waste of the story. It was a waste of 3 hours or 4 hours, however long it was.
I don't think it was a waste of 3 hours. I enjoyed like my maybe hour and a half or 2 hours of it.
They could have easily taken like an hour of the movie. In order to
Yeah, I completely agree. It would have made it so much better.
I was talking to someone. They were like, Robert De Niro's just too old to play that type of character. You know.
You could also, you could tell throughout the movie how like significantly they were aging him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
you could tell they were using like, is it CGI that they use?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, come on, he is too old for that. Like by the time he's supposed to be 40 or 30s, he looks like he's 58, maybe 60. It's insane. But it's like movies do that all the time, which people like, which if you think about it, when we were little kids, you never realized that. Because remember when you'd watch like Sweet Life on Deck or some sort of school that was high school based, you're like, oh my God, this is what
they're all
girls gonna look
25
like in high school. This is what I'm gonna look like in high school. I'm gonna be a fucking animal. You get to high school and you are a little shrimp in a pond. And you might find like more girls than guys early on in high school look a lot better because like, you know what I mean?
They're already starting to mature.
But like, it's not even close to what you thought it would be. I was like, oh, so like American Pie and like all of those movies are just a lot.
Yeah, literally every high school show movie ever. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, that's so annoying.
You eat for breakfast
Wait,
every
so
morning.
Johnny,
Oh wait, what was that?
are you working at Tony's this year?
I think so. Yeah.
But not right now, right?
No, They said so. Today is the 7th. They said they were gonna well, when I stopped by there a few weeks ago, they said they were gonna open the 9th. I think on Facebook they've been saying either Easter or after Easter or something like that.
Why are they taking so long?
Because they were doing renovations.
Okay,
So
that makes sense. All right.
Yeah, and with all this going on, they're like,
Yeah, it's not even worth it.
yeah, we have a reason.
I wouldn't
We're not gonna
open.
be So I think they're gonna open just for takeout. So I don't even know if they're gonna need my help anytime soon. I mean, I'd hope that I'd be their go-to if they needed people, but
Would you want to work though, dude?
yeah, I
I'm
want to work.
for that. I would definitely not work.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Just
would
because
work.
the
I'm so
amount of
done.
people that come in there, I don't trust those people at all. I don't know what they have. You're wearing a mask and gloves. Bullshit. You guys are within 2 feet of each other the whole time. That's not doing anything. Johnny, I would put good money. If you were working at Tony's, you would get the coronavirus. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but then you bring it to your house. It's like,
Yeah. Well,
if I lived by myself, I would be completely fine with like working at something like that.
I just want to get out of this house. I want to be like.
Oh, I completely agree.
I'm so tired of just sitting around the house and like just on my computer all day. You know what I mean? Like I want to get outside and do stuff. You know?
Yeah. That's why I was so happy. Like on Sunday, my dad's like, "So you just want to like redo the whole lawn?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah.
So he rented like a rototiller and just redid it all. So that's what I did all yesterday and today.
Yeah.
And it was like tough work. So now I'm good for like a week. You know what I mean? To
Joe,
just,
you want to tell them what happened at Home Depot yesterday?
Oh my God. I'm a fucking idiot. So me and Diarmuid, we finished up some of the lawn. Diarmuid was like helping me out, which was really nice. I'm like, all right, we're going to go Home Depot, return the rental tool we were using, get like all the fertilizer and grass seed we need. All right, simple enough. And then we'll stop at the Clam box and I'll buy something for Diarmuid because he works for me or whatever. He's like, great. I'm in the house for probably 10 minutes, like grabbing everything I need. I grab everything that I thought I needed, hop in the truck, we get there. We're waiting in line. I go, oh, fuck. I don't have my wallet, which has like my dad's card in it for like Home Depot.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. I'm like, Diarmuid, you have yours, right? He's like, no, I just have Apple Pay. And I'm like, all right, I have 50 in cash. The rest will go on Apple Pay. Us two nitwits not even thinking that maybe they don't have Apple Pay. Well, me. It's really me. I should have been thinking more. So we returned the tool, waiting for about 15, 20 minutes to return the tool. So in that time, I could have called my dad and said, hey, could you drop off the card? But no, I didn't. We go to get the fertilizer and seed. Another 20 minutes. So we're there for like an hour. We come up to the register. Dude, you think they have Apple Pay? I don't know. You have Apple Pay? No. Hell.
What is Apple Pay?
20 minutes. It's just on your phone, like anytime.
No. I know what Apple Pay is. I mean.
Yeah. Oh, like them. Yeah. No, he was like, he didn't actually even know what it meant. Yeah. So I was like, dude, oh my fucking God. And I never do that. But yeah, that was bad. But Diarmuid still got his lobster roll in the end. It was just like an hour late. So funny.
How much was a lobster roll going for?
Oh, well, we got 50 off. Tom was very nice.
It's always $18.95 by itself, and then $20.95 with French fries and coleslaw.
Gotcha. I didn't know.
That was such a deal. Like he usually like 50% off on seafood. I was like, good shit. Because I always do like since I do the landscaping for them, he was like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So I'm thinking like too. I might go like do a lot more landscaping this summer than I thought.
I thought you were gonna start your business and stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start cranking it up because I've done basically everything now. Now that I redid the lawn and I know that it's so easy to get the equipment I need, I can rent it in my name. It's so easy. So I think I might do it. But I definitely would need like help.
Oh, Joe, are you
Johnny?
Are you buying a car?
Yeah, I am. I think I'm buying Tom's. Hopefully, actually, like I'll either buy Tom's or I'll get something like better. Because
buy Ryan's car.
A Beamer? No way. Not that one. No way. Oh my God. But yeah, Johnny and Jack definitely though. Dude. Like if I could get some good jobs of like redoing lawns, that's where we could make the money. Yeah. And I need a lot more help because Diarmuid saw the work we did yesterday. It's tiring and long if you have a decent sized lawn to do. Yeah. But it's good work.
Wait, did you like the job we did, Diarmuid? Me and Joe.
when we cut
for
the
what?
wires.
We got the fucking.
Oh,
It was so funny.
Dude,
Jack looks at
I
me.
don't even know how we cut that wire. We only put the. We didn't use the hedge trimmers there. On that.
I know. No, I know it was definitely at the beginning because at the beginning we just like went all the way back, and then we started doing a little clear. Remember, we started doing the little stuff, and we're like,
Yeah, no,
By the
what
time
was
we're
it?
doing the little stuff, we look and we're like, oh my god! I'm like, Jack, we didn't cut that, right?
I was like, yeah,
It's
no
like,
way. The wire
no
was already
way.
cut.
So we don't even
Yeah,
say
Johnny-
anything to Darren.
John, you hear this? I paid them like $100 or something. I paid you
Yeah.
good money
Yeah. 'cause
to trim a ton of bushes out, and so they go fucking ham on them, and then they get the weed whacker and the weed cutters out, and I guess they cut this like the cable wire.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the next day, my dad gets a call on it, and it's like, the cable went out, and so my dad went out to check out the house, and the fucking cable wire was cut, and so my dad's like, why the fuck did those idiots cut the cable? And I'm like,
I don't know how it was cut, to
I
be
felt
honest.
so bad. It was so bad.
No, well, my instinct was
It was
we were
obvious.
using the strimmers or whatever. I was like, there's no way the cable was cut from the fucking strimmers. I know, but I'm saying I realized
I
it was.
agree.
But I'm saying like I was like, no way we cut it from that. But fucking no.
David, fuck that too. Like that wasn't even a bad job. I was happy you gave us the job. Love the business. But those fucking people that rent the apartment, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It's like we're out there with all the power equipment and it's like loud. I was like, nobody would want to be outside. They're on the deck right here and we're just mowing everything down. It's spitting everywhere.
It was like 11 o'clock in the morning. They had,
Like, I
like,
don't
tweezers
care
up.
because
Dude,
if
that's
they
so
don't
awkward.
care.
That's so awkward having people watch you while
It was-
you're working.
Yeah, it was awkward,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to be the dickhead who's like, hitting them with all the leaves. So
Yeah.
I started doing over to the right a little, and then I made my way right there, and I'm like, are you guys
Yeah.
gonna move or no? So I just started doing it, and they definitely got like hit with stuff, and I was like,
I would feel
else were like,
They didn't even offer us like a bottle of water or anything. Like you usually just do that out of
Fuck.
courtesy.
they
Like,
just didn't say anything either.
they just
so it was
didn't
fun.
know what. Like I don't know. I don't know. They're very weird. Like I don't know.
It was so fun.
Probably not as weird as the guy that felt a dildo in the toilet, but.
Yeah, definitely not as weird as
But, dude, that was so funny. I'm trying to work like 40 hours a week at the church, though. I'm trying to get extra hours and like try to like put in shit from the cemetery or something like that on the computer. I don't know. I'm
That's a
taking
good
your
idea.
job.
Sure.
What, Jeremy?
no, Joe, do you want to tell the story about the one you were talking about before?
Oh my god. So this is a good like clam box story, a classic. I'd say it was so it wasn't our last year, Darren, or my last year working? Or no, was it probably like going into senior year of high school?
I think it's going in the senior.
Yeah, because I remember talking about it like the next year. So it's like whatever, summer 2017. Diarmuid's on register one of the nights, and I'm just like on window or whatever. This guy comes in, and he just come across the street, and it wasn't busy. So we watched, like, you know how like sometimes you'll be watching people walk across. So I kind of like watched him, and I noticed whatever he gets out of like a nice like Cadillac, like a Cadillac Escalade. So I'm like, oh, good for him. Like that's
It was
cool.
brand
It's, like,
new.
my favorite car. Yeah, and you could tell it was brand new. Like I knew it was like top of the line.
Yeah.
So he comes in, he orders whatever he gets. It was probably like a seafood platter.
I think it was like 2 or 3. It was like 50, 70 bucks worth of stuff.
Yeah, so he gets done with it, and he goes to Diarmuid, he goes, you guys take food stamps here? Diarmuid, I think like Diarmuid did the classic, like he looked at me. Like now you always just look at somebody next to you because you don't want to like just tell them right away like they're an idiot.
Yeah.
Because he was. But like Diarmuid looks at me, he's like, no, we don't take food stamps, right? I'm like, no, we don't. And he goes, sorry, we don't take them. I say, all right. He probably pays with like one of his 30 credit cards.
No.
And then-
I think he paid all cash. I think it was like all cash.
Okay, of course. So he pays all cash. Then he goes, I don't know if it was kind of just like generally to me and Diarmuid. He goes, yo, how long is it going to be? And we just like 15 minutes. And then he's like, all right, I got plenty of time then to start this. And he pulls out the blunt, walks across the street into his freaking Cadillac. And I'm like, this guy's got to be kidding me. Like, this is so classic. Like, it's too classic for Clam Box. It was one of those you have to remember. One of my favorites, too, was when I was working with Sully, and I still have, like, the Snapchat of it. I took a Snapchat of it. This is, like, my last year working. And I'm just cleaning the bathroom, and I don't even notice. Like I step on something. I'm refilling the toilet paper. I walk out and I look, and there's just a bag of weed on the ground, and I'm dying laughing. So I go, Sully. I act like it's a huge deal. I'm like, Sully, we got some paraphernalia on the bathroom, men's bathroom ground. And Sully's so funny because it doesn't even affect him. He's like, oh, fuck off. And I'm like, come on, Sully, you gotta look at it. He's like, fine. He walks out and he goes, oh, a bag of weed. And like, I'm laughing, like filming it. As I'm filming it, I just stop as this person comes around the corner and they go, just pick it up and don't say anything to me. And me and Sully just stare at him walking, like, and he like runs off. He's probably high as a kite. It was so funny. That was hilarious. I remember thinking like we were definitely not gonna smoke that anyways.
Yeah, no. Some random guy
rode away. I wouldn't offer to you guys.
Yeah, no, we were just gonna throw. You mean Sully was like, I was like, what should I do with it? And Sully was like, do whatever you want with it. It was so funny.
Speaking of that, I remember the one time I don't know, I was working. I think it was my first year, so I was still a busser, and I was like, I don't know, 15 or 16 at the time. And so there are these a couple let's say addicts who come in, and like they're kind of like you just look at them, you can tell. And so whatever, so like this lady is like, oh, someone's been in the bathroom for a while, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's jammed. So I like knock whatever, nothing, and I like, try to open it and it's locked. I'm like, oh, someone must be in there. So I come back for 5 minutes and it's still just shut. And so I'm like, okay, what the hell? And so like I try to like jam it open, and I eventually get it open, and there's a gentleman on the ground with a needle, just completely blacked out, like on the ground. And I'm like, oh fuck. So I go to the owner, and like I didn't know what to say, like to that, like what do you say? So I just go and it's like, oh Brian, can I have you for a second? He's like, no, I'm busy right now. I was like, oh, we have a medical emergency. And dude, he shot up like a rocket. He's like, where? And so I bring him to the bathroom, and he just sees the guy like on the ground. And like at that point, the guy was like starting to get up and like starting to like, get consciousness again. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So we get him to go to a table, and the guy, like, I don't know, he started like cracked out of his mind, but he started to like gaining more consciousness. He's like, oh, yo, don't call the cops. And the owner, he didn't want to call the cops. He just didn't want the commotion. So he's like brought him over French fries and water, like really like nice thing to do. And then after, yeah, no, I respected it a ton, because like I would have called the cops and get him the hell out of there. And so then I just left and like didn't do the situation at all. I went cleaning everything I could just to not deal with it. But I was like, Jesus, like it's not bad in the restaurant. It's just like Quincy's known for it, and it was
Did
like
you work another time though, and you guys actually had to call them. I forget who was.
Yeah, I thought.
Oh,
I remember.
I was front.
Somebody actually called. Like somebody actually had to bring them down.
No, me. I did. This is one of the times. This is just something else. I called the cops the most I ever have when I worked there. Like my last year was usually the worst year. I probably called them like 6 or 8 times. But like, so this time was I was on my shift, but I was doing soda. Like I was filling up the soda. So from the Clam box, you have to go. It's easier to go around rather than go through the downstairs, through the kitchen, whatever. So I grabbed the dolly. I'm going around, going down, and I see these 2 guys in like a white beaters, whatever, and they're just sitting on that like corner side of Sachem on our property. So I look at them and I'm like, that's fucking weird. Like they're just like so sus. And like so I fill it up, and by the time I fill it up, I come back and like there's a line outside the door. There's kids everywhere. And I just see like the older guy, what do you call it? He's like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be like a quick rush. Like you'll be fine. And he's fucking tying the kid's thing with his belt right there.
Like in the middle of the street?
Right? No, like on the side of the Clam box. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
he's like just doing it right there. And I was so stunned. And this is like my 3rd year there, and I was like, I'm definitely saying something. So I stopped the thing because everybody's looking too. I'm like, I have to say something, even though I don't want to. I look at him like, hey, yo, I was like, you guys got to get out of here. You cannot be doing that here. So right away, I just started calling the cops because they were so out of it. So I started calling the cops, and they just start like kind of like fast, like walking down. But this kid cannot walk. So then I'm like actually telling them, I'm like, hey, this guy definitely needs help. So the cop comes and like at the time he was probably coming down like the opposite way of Sachem, looks at me and he's like, "Is that them?" And I was like, "Yep," and just like goes to deal with them. But I was like, that was insane. It was actually so like I didn't even know what to like think in my head because I was like, it's so like it's so what do you call it? Gross to like see that too. I was like, it just put me in like shock. And like there's these little kids and these families. I'm like, that is such a bad look on like us. Never mind, just like it's just obviously those people needed help.
I mean,
Insane.
it's just like addiction's just so blinding, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, obviously you're not in the right head because that's all you can think about, you know? So
Yeah, that's why like
sad.
help where you can. And it's like I knew that like calling the police, like especially now, is the best thing you could do. Because they're not gonna get like in trouble or whatever. Or if somebody does get in trouble, it's probably for the right reason. You know, because most of the time they just take them away in the ambulance, which is a good thing and a bad thing, but it's a different story.
I remember the first year we all worked there. Dave worked there, and Dave was the funniest motherfucker.
Oh, it was
Such a good story about Dave.
Yeah. No. So, all right. So, for the people who don't know, Dave was this big. I don't know. He's probably 250, 300 pounds, like a huge dude. He had tats everywhere. He had like face tats. He had a big beard. He dyed it red. He had like beads in it. He was
so
like
scared.
the typical.
He looked like Post Malone with a beard. I mean,
you know, he looked like a typical like biker gang. Like he was a biker too. Like you wouldn't fuck with him. Like doesn't matter what you look like, you wouldn't fuck with him.
Mhm.
But he was like this fucking dude. But so I remember one time, he was always just saying random shit to me. And so one time he's like, "Dude, I love black chicks. Like I just love black chicks." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm like 15 at the time. Like don't tell me that." And so later that day, there was it was probably like a Tuesday afternoon, and there was drama, like big drama. So there was a couple ladies who they saw each other, probably hadn't seen each other in a while, but like you could tell one of them was like cheating on their boyfriend, and so
of course they run into each other at the Fox.
Yeah, of course. So they get in a shouting match, like they were screaming at each other. And this is back in the day when Cam was working. So Cam, like I love him to death, but he didn't know what to do. So he was just like, "Oh guys, just go outside. Like get the fuck out of here." So they just go in the front lawn, and like since they're outside the restaurant, they start throwing hands, and like they're like coming back from the beach. So both of them are in like bikinis and like just like towels or whatever in the bottom, and so they start throwing hands and they start scrapping, and one of the bikinis gets thrown off, and I'm just like. I'm just trying to fill up the tartar sauce. And so like I see that. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I just turn around and I just put it back in. I see them. They're still scrapping on the little side street next to it. And I just go back in. So I go to Dave and I'm like, "Oh, Dave, there's these two black ladies fighting outside." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, really?" I was like, "Yeah, one of their like, tops came off." And he starts sprinting outside to see them. I was like,
"I gotta go."
Yeah, he's like, "Dude, you gotta tell me this quicker." And I was like, "What do you want me to do?"
Dude, he was so funny. I remember one of my first shifts, I'm filling up the tartar sauce.
He was
like
one of the funniest guys.
Yeah. You know how like the door like closes behind you in the fridge? So I'm like filling up the tartar sauce. And the next thing I know, I'm just filling it. The light goes dark. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he goes, "All right, don't scream. Don't scream." I turn around, it's Dave. I was like, "Holy shit!" He turns it on. He's like, "I'm just fucking with you." And he's like, "All right, just promise me you won't piss in the tartar sauce." And I was like, "I won't." I said, "I won't." He's like, "Good, because I already pissed in the tartar sauce, so don't."
It's at the right balance right now.
I started laughing. He's like, "I already did it. Don't take what do you call it, blame for what I did."
No, I have one just like that.
That's
this
a
was like
complete joke,
4 or
by the
5
way.
weeks.
Thanks, Joe.
It was like 4 or 5 weeks after I've been working there, and like I kind of knew him. I didn't know him too well, just because like I was still like kind of like frantic, like focused on what I was doing. And so I'm in the fridge filling up the tartar sauce, and he comes in, shuts off the light, and like closes the door, and he just like, and I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" And he just whispers, "I've been waiting so long to have this situation." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then he just turns back John. He's like, I'm just fucking with you. And I was literally like, my heart like fell.
He
so
would
funny,
like actually, especially because he would do that on the first time he met you. Like he would say stuff like that, so you were like, "What the fuck?" And then once you got to know him, you're like, "Okay, this guy is fine." Like one time, dude, and Cam is such an idiot. This is so funny. I'm into work, and I'm like, I start doing the patio right away. So I haven't seen Cam at all yet, our manager, and I'm just doing the chairs, whatever. I go into the back, so I still avoid like Cam and all them. And like that day, I had really bad allergies, so my eyes are just bloodshot red. And fucking, oh my god, Dave loves it. He goes, "Are you fucking high?" And I'm like, I'm like a freshman. I'm like, no, I'm not high. I'm like, I just have allergies. He's like, "You're fucking high. You little fuck." He's like, come here. He starts like bringing me towards like Cam's office, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like freaking out. He goes, "Cam, look at this kid." And Cam looks at me. He's like, yeah. What's up? He's like, he's high on the job. Look at his eyes. Cam's like, oh my god. He's like, they're bloodshot. He's like, "Joe, you're high at work," and I had to like convince him for like 5 to 10 minutes of how I wasn't high. I was like, "Cam, he's just fucking with you." And finally, Dave was like, "Yeah, I'm just fucking with you, dude. He's not high." It was so fun. And I remember just at that age, like I was freaking out about it. I was like, I'm not. So funny.
I love locking kids in the freezer at work.
My
Like,
God, John.
Always the new.
Funny. What, like
I love locking them in
girls?
there.
What, Joe? Wait, what? No, like the new busboys. Anytime a new busboy starts,
You're
I'm
fun.
like, hey, I need some like juice mix from the freezer for the bar, and he goes in there. Oof.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I mean, I had it done to me like 10 times. So like obviously I'm gonna reciprocate, you know?
True.
Like a true gentleman.
Yeah. Like a true gentleman's only.
That is so funny, dude.
I think it's time for me to tell my big story.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
It's
Go.
your big story.
Have we heard this one before?
Yeah, yeah, you guys have definitely heard this story
Okay,
before.
good.
Yeah.
It's good to reminisce.
The story about the gentleman, the upset customer who
Oh yeah.
all of us. So it's like a normal night, probably like a Friday or Saturday night, and I think it was pretty late. I think I read the police report the other day because I was writing because or not the police report, but the whatever article was for it, because that I finished that episode writing it for the show about work.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Do that, yeah. So it's pretty late. It's probably like past 9, probably 9:30 or something. And this guy comes over, orders a fish plate. He's like off the bat, he's like super like I thought he was kind of aggressive. Like he was like I don't know. But he sends the fish plate back after he gets it because he said it was burnt. And we get him a new plate, make him new fish, whatever. Doesn't think there's enough there on the plate. So now he starts getting like super aggressive. He's pissed. Visibly. He was pissed when he first got the fish, the burnt fish. Now he's like really pissed. And my boss like comes out like while he starts yelling at the girls and stuff. And I was busboy back then, so I didn't have to deal with him. But so my boss is like, "Oh, hold on, buddy. Like, I'll get you your money back. Just like be on your way. Like if that's what you want." The guy's like, "Damn straight, that's what I want." So my boss starts getting like the money, his money back, and he's like, "You know what? Give me all the money." not shitting you. He sticks his hand in the pocket of his hoodie and like acted like he had a gun. And my boss is like, what is going on right now? I'm like a dumbass 15-year-old. I have no idea what's going on. I didn't even like really notice he had the hand in his pocket at the time. So I'm taking the trash out literally right behind my boss who's at the register being stuck up. So I'll also set the scene for what else is in the room, right? So you got this guy. You got another family, mom and a dad and 2 kids, boy and a girl, sitting off to the side. And then you got a group of like 8 people, high as fuck. Absolutely stoned. Reeked of weed. It was hilarious. And, they're just trying to enjoy their meal too. And this guy comes in like the OK Corral, about to shoot up everything. So one of the ladies from our stoner crew over there is like, hey, mister, that's not a good thing. I don't think you should be doing that. And he's like, shut up, bitch. And some dude stands up. He's the hero of the night. I call him Blue Scarf because he was wearing a blue scarf, but my boss is like convinced that he looked like Kevin Hart. He did not look. Kevin Hart's short. He's like 5'3". This guy was at least 5'8". Anyways, Blue Scarf stands up and he's like, the only person standing up in the restaurant. Hey, don't you be talking about my women like that.
Dude, at the moment, do they know he has the gun? Like,
yeah, everyone. Yeah. Then he goes, you better shut your bitch up, man. I'm about to shoot all y'all bitches up in here.
Dude, I wouldn't know whether
at that point, like,
at that point, I realize I know what's going on. Like, this guy's insane. It's nuts. And, yeah, we're like, yo, what is going on? So he just gets back into the zone of trying to rob this place. And it was like I was looking at him, like trying to get my boss to hurry up. And then a fist just flies into the frame and clocks the dude. It's Blue Scarf. Blue Scarf starts pounding on the guy, and they get in a tussle. And as this is going on, my boss is like, everyone get in the back, get in the back. So,
what did the other customers do? Sorry, just curious.
I'll get to that. I don't know. We all got in the back, so I didn't know what was really going on. But I guess the fight ended up making its way to, like the doors, and like the guy like escapes, Blue Scarf, and he's like, "I'm going to get my gun, and when I come back, I'm shooting all y'all."
Oh my
he
God.
runs off, takes off down the beach. Stadies pick him up going over the Neponset Bridge, like right in over in dock, right? So, like when we come back out, like the stoner group gone. They were like, Blue Scarf gone. They're like, we have a ton of weed on us. We're not getting in trouble for this. So they were like, gone. The family, no idea. I don't know where they are. Eventually, the dad peeks out from the door, and he had his whole family like hiding in one of the bathrooms.
Oh, that's funny. That's smart.
Well, that guy ends up being a statey. An off-duty
with the family?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Did do shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like pretty ridiculous.
But he probably called the stadies though, right?
No, my boss called the police.
Yeah, I'm sure he called it as well, though.
I'm saying he probably had to.
Maybe.
Well, not had to, but he probably did. Like texted somebody.
Wasn't the stadium showed up. My dad's the first one to show up. He was at my house. So once he gets the call, he just runs right over. So he was the first.
Holy shit. When he got the call, he was probably like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, so
you were working too?
Dude, I could see your dad coming in just being like, is dumbass killed yet or something like that? Just like talking about
Did he come in with like his gun out?
Is like shithead dead yet? Like...
No, but like it's like that time when before you guys were picking me up before Mulvey's New Year's party.
Yeah, I remember that.
He taps on the glass while I'm still inside. into your car. He's like, hey, don't let shithead do anything stupid tonight.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So where was I? Oh, so I'm still in the back. Like one of these girls I'm working with is like bawling her eyes off. She won't shut up. I'm like, this is hilarious. My neighbor Ryan, who was working as a busboy, kid was outside taking trash out of the dumpster the entire time. Completely missed the thing.
Oh, that
Even
was
so-
suck. I would be pissed if I missed that
Yeah.
whole ordeal. Like
Yeah.
even like it would suck if he actually had gotten something happen, but you'd still
I'm
want
still
to be
mad
there.
I missed a fight at the Clam box. There was never any fights when I went there, like actual physical fights.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I ever actually saw any fights.
I didn't see any.
A lot of
Besides
I had
verbal.
me and Joe had to clean shit up from one of the bathrooms one time, but that was it.
I did that
No
one
actual
time.
fight.
Jimmer, do you remember were you there with the hot dog incident?
Oh yeah, freaking who was telling me
With
that story?
Kirsten?
Kirsten told me the hot story.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was unregistered.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
that was
Yeah, dude.
insane. I had to like this lady is asking what type of hot dogs are. You know what I mean? So like she
Yeah, no,
asked
it wasn't
what they
that.
are
It
first.
was a Sunday and it was busy. Like, line out the door to the beach. It was crazy. And this lady comes up to me and like you can tell she's a Karen, like absolute Karen. And like the husband, like he's chill, like laid back, like he doesn't give a fuck. And so
Yeah.
she's like, what brand of hot dog do you have? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. So like I say to like the supervisor, it's like, what brand of hot dog do we have? And she's like, dude, I don't know. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And she's like, I need to know what brand of hot dog. So I was like, okay. So I go in the back, I look at it's just cayenne or whatever. I was like, oh, it's cayenne. Is it 100% beef or 50% meat? I was like, I'm sorry, I have no idea. And then Kristen comes over and she's like, lady, like get the fuck like
Yeah.
either
Just
have
don't
whatever you
order a
want.
hot dog. You just came to
Yeah.
a seafood plate to order hot
Yeah.
dogs. What
And
are you
damn
doing?
it, and I'm
Out
the one
of
who has to
nothing.
keep asking the back for these
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, she starts yelling at us. She's like, I can't believe that you guys can't honor my one request. I just want to know what type of hot dogs you get. This is the worst service I've ever had. And she starts yelling. And her husband, like, if you guys have seen Rick and Morty, he's like Jerry. He's just standing there and just looking.
so
And
sorry.
she like runs off. And then it was just me and him making awkward eye contact. So I was like, are you going to cancel the seafood platter? And he's like, yeah. And then he just walks out and follows her.
Dude, she was insane though. She walks out, and it was kind of the timing. Her husband's talking to Diarmuid, so she comes back in, and comes through the other door. Kirsten is down there at this point, and I'm kind of watching just to like see what happens. And she's bitching at Kirsten in her face like this, and Kirsten's like starting to back up, and she kind of is like cornered at like the soda machine, so she's kind of standing there.
Yeah.
And this lady is like pissed. I thought she was gonna hit her, so I just like start walking down and was like about to say something. Thank God she like got out of there.
Dude, Kirsten told me too. The lady was asking if the casing was like organic or not.
Yeah,
no,
it was
that's
like,
Who the
the
fuck,
main
dude?
question.
You're eating a hot dog. Like, what do you
Like,
fucking
ask
care
me
if it's
if it's-
organic?
Also, if she knows hot dogs that well, she would know what KM hot dogs are made of. You know what I mean? Somebody like that knows what brand hot dogs they
Yeah.
like.
If she was
I
a
was
real
like, these
hot
fools are
dogger,
fucking
she'd know her hot dogs.
That's why I was like, fuck you. Clearly, she fucking hasn't gotten enough hot dog
That's
in a
so
while.
funny.
She's not a real hot dogger.
Giving her the fucking hot dog. Oh my god, dude. That lady was ridiculous. That also reminded me of like the time I think this is my second year working there, so I'm like 16. And our manager who's on is this bimbo. She is so stupid. Like, she's on the verge of being fired. So it's me, the bimbo, as the manager, and then this
Oh.
other girl, Olivia, Sarah B.
Oh,
So anyways, she's on there, and she's like, it's like probably 12 or maybe 1. And she's like, hey, Joe, I'm just going to run out. She brings me into the office. I'm just going to run out and go get my groceries at Stop and Shop. Like, I have them on order, so I just have to pick them up and grab them. I'm like, what can I say? So I'm like, okay, sounds good. I tell G's like, that fat bitch. And then I laugh. And then he goes, she leaves. I'm like, all right, hopefully nothing happens. I'm just praying nothing happens. Olivia's on like register. Of course something happens. This guy is hammered, comes in. She doesn't really realize it at first, so she sells him the beer. I'm busy with windows, so I'm not even paying attention. And I see the beer come up, so I'm about to go grab it. I grab it. I have it in my hand, and she's shaking her head like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. This guy's definitely way too much. So I'm like, I don't put it on the counter. I just hold it. I'm like, so who ordered the beer? And then he walks up, and he's like, oh, man, that's for me. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, we're not going to be able to sell it to you, blah, blah, blah. And immediately I know that's not going to go over well.
Yeah.
So this guy starts yelling at me. He's like, you want to take me? He's like, we'll go. And I'm like, no. I'm like, so he's going at me. And then he stops. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm like, okay, good. But he doesn't. He just goes up to friggin' Olivia and starts yelling at her. And she started like crying. So I was like, Olivia, just like go in the back. I was like, go. And she's like, all right. She like runs into the back. And there's people in line. Like, this is when sometimes customers I just don't even get. Like, I guess it was just one of those times where none of them were like those types of people. Cause like so I'm like, Frank, come over here. I'm like, we got to get this guy to go. And I'm like, we can either take you out of here or I'm calling the police. He starts yelling. I just go like, I remember I just started dialing 911 and I just like am on the phone. And he's like, and after a while, then he hears me. I'm like, yeah, I'm at the Quincy Clam box. And then he's like, I'm leaving. And he like walks out, stumbling out. And I was like, dude, you're such a prick. But I was like, none of that would have happened if we had a competent manager.
I was working with Ro one time, and she was on too, Sarah B. And she was a supervisor. I don't remember what happened, but I think she like went back playing freaking Angry Bird or something on her phone like all the time. Me and Roisin, I was bussing, and Roisin was just doing whatever. But I remember Roisin was so pissed. Like she was like, I don't know. It's funny though.
Stupid.
Thanks,
She
Jack.
friended me on Facebook. No, she friended me on Facebook, Sarah B. Actually.
Oh my God.
That's
I
funny
have Sarah on Snapchat. That is the best thing ever.
no.
You guys don't have her on Snap, right?
No.
She'll sometimes reply to my stories, but her stories are the best. It's so awesome to just get a picture of what her life is. What I've seen from her life, it's her waking up in the morning, filming her making her daughter like frozen Eggos, thinking she's like Wonder Woman of a mom. And then it's her smoking her blunt on the way to like the grocery store or something. She's never working, so I'm convinced she's definitely just on the States, whatever. She's getting funded somehow. And she's just always smoking weed. And then right after she's videos of her smoking weed, it's videos of her daughter. So I'm just like, she's just cooked with her little daughter who has no clue. And her mom is just incompetent.
Think your daughter's cooked?
Actually, good chance, yeah. Like when she was pregnant with her, she was smoking like a chimney still, I'm sure. So you do not know. Those were some of the best times though when they worked there, because they're so funny.
Dude, I worked with her sister my first shift. That was so funny.
KB wasn't. I actually liked KB.
I liked KB.
Like,
She was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
she was excellent.
At least working with KB, you could have a good conversation, just like in general. You know what I mean? Like obviously we have our differences, but her sister was awesome. And then Sarah was just like, you would get gibberish the whole time. And then when you would tell her something, she would probably ask you 100 questions on the stupidest things. Like she would be like, what is that? Or like, what do you mean? And I'd be like, are you like smarter than a 5th grader? She definitely didn't look it.
Dude, I remember this. We brought a new employee, Jonas. And so this guy, I forget where he's from, but he had like just gotten divorced. But like he didn't even speak English. Like his English was awful. I don't know how we hired him. But so we hired this guy, and his English atrocious. Like you couldn't even have a conversation with him. And then he started having like toothaches. And then this is still like the first week he's working there. So instead of like taking Advil or whatever, he starts just chugging vodka. And so it's just this guy Jonas, like this like Middle Eastern guy, doesn't speak like much English, just getting smashed on the job trying to work, and the guy's an idiot. So he's just like they'd be like order up, and he'd be like crate, and no one has any idea what the fuck he's saying for like order number 3. And I'm just like, dude, just get the fuck out. Just like literally just sit in the back. You'll be like, you just get the fuck out of my way.
Oh.
Do you guys remember Leah? Wait, is your mute mine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, my first shift, it was like me, her, and KB. And this is literally like 5 minutes into my shift. I'm like stocking whatever. I'm like stocking beers or something like that. But you know how she has like a lazy eye or like a glass eye or whatever like that?
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened. I wasn't even listening. I was just stalking. I was trying to keep my head down, just try to like do something. Next thing I hear is like, "You stupid bitch!" And I turn around and this lady is just screaming at her. And I guess they like messed up a seafood platter or something like that with one shrimp off or something like that. This lady
my
goes
God.
insane. She's freaking out. She's like, "You stupid bitch! I can't believe this." Blah 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 blah. And it's like, you have one fucking eye. She was just like going off, and I was like,
Didn't she say look at me or something?
she's
I
like,
remember you
don't
telling
fucking
me that.
blink at me with your eye, like some thing about her eye, and I was like, oh my god. KB like just stood up and was like, get the fuck out of here. She like gave her
That
like
was a-
2 shrimp.
Alright.
KB
You
wasn't
know,
happy, but I just remember it was my first 5 minutes working. I'm filling up like I'm just like learning the job. I don't even know what to say. I didn't even know her name at the time.
Dude, remember fucking Big Sam? I was there when Big Sam got fucking fired. That was awesome. That was the best thing I've ever seen.
Dude, Sully
Because it was
fired her
Sully
too. You have to be
Yeah, that was
so
the best
bad.
part.
What was
The
Big
best
Sam
part-
like?
He did
Sully
what
fired
Tom-
her.
Oh, she was stupid as bricks, smelled like bum, and she was a total bitch. So like,
She was
when
also
ev-
super pound.
yeah,
So,
whenever
like,
she
On the
be
line, you couldn't get around her. Like it was like a roadblock. You'd have
Yeah.
to you'd have to go all the way around just to get to the other side of the register.
yeah, and
You
it was
reeked, dude. That was so
insane.
bad. That was like a health like hazard probably, just part of like being there.
I remember that day though so vividly. I go outside to do something, and that guy goes, "Where the fuck did you get that girl?" And this guy's so I'm like, he's like a good dude, and I know him. He's a regular. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm like, if I manage this place, she'd be gone. And he's like, you better like, can you tell your manager for me that that girl is like incompetent and she's just a total bitch? And I was like, sounds good, will do. So I tell Sully that day, and I'm like, Sully, she was on like she was being mean, you know what I mean, to everybody. So like the customers
It was
getting
also she couldn't hear something, so like she
yeah,
put up
he
like
put up the sign.
speak
Oh,
up.
dude, the
like,
fucking
Your
sign.
cashier's deaf, and like which is like what? And two, like that's like can be like, insensitive to people who actually have like hearing disabilities. So like so what Sully told her to take it down, and she's like okay. She takes it down, puts it back up, and then Joe continue.
So he tells her to take it down. He leaves then again, and I see her put it back up, and I'm like, oh my god. Sully comes out, of course, to do like his rounds. He's like checking with me, how you doing? Doesn't even realize that she put it back out, and Sam's like, doesn't even care. She's like, I don't care, you know what I mean? I'm gonna leave it up. I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit. So Sully goes over and he's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, I told you to take that down. And like he had brought her in the back by this point, and I can just hear him or whatever. He's like, well, I don't even know what he. Do you remember what he said exactly, Darren? Like what I told you.
No,
I just remember I think she was like, oh, I'm gonna quit. That's what it was. She's like, oh, fine, I've been meaning to quit. I'm gonna quit. And he's like, okay, I don't think you need to quit because I just fired you. He's like, leave. And she's like shocked. She like comes to the front, grabs her like jacket, and just leaves. And I'm like, I was so happy. She left.
Didn't she go to the bathroom for like an hour though?
That shift, she also went to the bathroom for an hour. Like this is towards the end of the shift when she got fired, because it was just everything was adding up, and like I remember I texted Tim and like everybody right away. I was like, she's fucking gone.
Yeah, you texted us. I remember that.
Like Tom was so happy. Tom was like, yeah, I was gonna fire soon. So good, Sully did. I think that's part of the reason why like Tom kept Sully too. Because he did not put up with that shit. Like if you're a bad worker, that's the thing I like a lot about Sully too. Like he might be a shithead, but like if you weren't a good worker, he would call you out, no matter where. Like Rhino, he does not like Ryan, your brother. And I remember he'd always call him out. But
To
like,
be honest, Jeremy, I don't
you
know how
would
Ryan
skip
still has
that
his
shit.
job. Like I really don't. I really
just
don't.
because Tom doesn't have the time to actually find somebody good.
No, I know,
He-
but like at the same time.
He knows like Like, if we were 21, I guarantee he'd be calling on me and Diarmuid
Yeah.
instead of Ryan. Like, I would guarantee it.
Yeah.
So, but those are all just good times. So funny.
There was this chick Veronica one time that was working with us. I thought she was just super weird. So like, none of us really liked her, or I don't know. But she just straight up didn't show up to a shift one day. It was like a day shift, and we called her. We're like, hey Veronica, like where are you? And she was like, yeah, I just moved to Kentucky. I'm not gonna make it.
Oh my,
Like, no,
what?
like, no shit, you're not gonna make it. You're in freaking Kentucky.
Dude, what the fuck? Wait, how
You're
long
not
did you
gonna
say
make
she was there for?
shit.
She was working there for like 2 or 3 months.
What the hell is
Wait,
that?
what?
I can hear that.
Paul just, my cousin Paul,
Yeah.
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 just sent me this video of his roommate fucking dancing. So funny. And Paul's been like crazy busy because he works at a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
And he said they've been crazy because they're just like trying to pump out something. And he was like, he legit cannot go anywhere. He was saying, like he was like, he just comes from work just to home, and he has his girlfriend or his roommates like get him groceries and stuff because his work was like, you cannot be going out. He was also telling me it's insane since he's in so he works in the lab because he's he's a chemical engineer, so he works in the lab, and he was like, I would say it takes me an hour before I can get into the lab because he has to be like all sorts of like what do you call it? He has to go through a bunch of different rooms to get what is that called? I don't know.
I'm honestly surprised. I'm surprised they haven't started like building rooming facilities at some of these places
For you to just stay there
to keep the people there so that they don't get like, you know what I mean?
That's true. I know
and asking them like please like just live here until like because we need you. You know what I mean?
Sure. His, I guess, isn't too bad too, because like he is in like a full suit by that time. It's more just like ensuring that you don't touch the outside of it, obviously.
Yeah. And they don't want to. They want his performance to be up.
Yeah, that's very true too. They have a lot on the line.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Has anybody really taken a look at any pharmaceutical stocks?
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look right now. I just like am curious. I'm sure they're not doing bad.
Yeah. Jack, do you have a birthday party to go to?
Sean's an idiot, so I have more time.
Gotcha.
But it was like supposed to be like the surprise thing where it was like Sean would call in at 9, thinking he would just talk to our friend Christina. It would just be a bunch of us in a Zoom call.
Shit.
But he says he's out eating cake with his family right now. I wonder where I've heard that one before. But
Wait, who?
It's actually his birthday, so he's actually eating cake with he's eating his birthday cake with his family. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like his aunt made it or anything.
No.
Just kidding.
There's a good story when, after Jack gets fired, he comes to my restaurant and starts bitching to my boss.
Sean, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sean just like, I'm like looking at this happen.
He kept like the conversation going, so that's why I kind of did it. I didn't really mean to.
So I'm just like looking at Sean's facial expressions, and he's just like, by the end of this, it just seemed like Jack was just trying to get a job off, like him getting fired.
Did it seem like that? Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh yeah, no offense, dude. I was not. Once I got out of there, I did not want to. I was like, oh yeah. I just started laughing. I mean, like he knew by the end of it that I didn't, right? Like when I like left.
Oh, I told him, yeah.
Yeah, because I
was like, that's a job. Like.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. Wait, did he ask that? Did he think I actually wanted one?
No, but I was like, I don't think he was trying to. I was like, Sean, I don't think he was like trying to mooch a job off you. And he was like, oh, I couldn't really tell.
That's
He's
so
like-
funny.
I don't know. I mean, he kept the conversation going, so I just kept telling him
Yeah.
because I think somebody brought it up to him, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm not going back in the restaurant industry. I thought I mentioned that.
You think
Whatever.
Shaylee will be working again?
Are you talking to me?
What?
Johnny. I was
Oh,
like,
Shaylee.
are
Oh,
people
yeah,
like
yeah.
Shaylee gonna be working once they open? Or you don't know?
I was talking to her a couple weeks ago. I think so. I hope so.
Like in the summer you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it should be a good. I think we'll have a decent crew. So I like hanging out with all those guys. So
That makes sense.
hold on.
So funny.
Where did Diarmuid go?
I have no clue, but you wanna wait for him or just
No, there he is.
Get more dinner.
Gotcha. I gotta go make dinner. I really want to do this. I think our next episode we should just do more stories like that. I think that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I
absolutely.
completely agree. That was fun.
We definitely have more work stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, I know I do.
I agree.
So, yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
I wish this wasn't recorded. We could tell a lot better stories.
that's true.
I know. That is true.
All right. I think that's a wrap for this time. So, sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
We'll see you guys next week. All right.
All right,
Sounds
sounds
good.
good.
See
you later.
It is.
All right, that was episode 2. We had a really fun time, wicked fun time doing this episode. We didn't even get to tell most of the stories we had set aside for this. But we'll definitely do another one of these story episodes soon. I don't know when, but soon definitely. Until next week, we'll see you guys.